Something else I want to talk about is going to be your clothing choice. How I imagine coyotes is I imagine that they can see. If I had night vision, that's how good they can see. So when you're considering that, that goes into what your terrain is and kind of different environmentals that you have around you is going to influence your clothing. Camouflage is always a good choice. I would steer away from any darker camouflages. I would try to stay more of a lighter color because I challenge you to put on camouflage, especially on a well-lit night, and go stand at 200 yards away. You just look like a big black blob depending on your camouflage choice. And that's very easy to see. And some sets that I hunt and others hunt as well as, I can't really get onto any type of cover. I can't get in a tree line or have good backdrop and things like that. I kind of have to stand in the middle of this field to get the coverage I need and to cover the most likely avenues of approach. So you may be in a situation to where you're being completely illuminated by the moon, or you're just standing out like a black blob in the middle of this field moving around that is going to be influenced by your camouflage choice. Solid colors are pretty good. Again, I'll stay away from darker stuff unless it's like super dark out. If it's super dark out and there's no loom, there's cloud cover, and it's really dark out, you can get by with like wearing dark colors like blacks and dark browns and things like that. But you'd be surprised how good they can pick you off even though it's nighttime. So colors versus camo. Obviously, you can go out there and wear blue jeans and a red flannel shirt and still kill coyotes. But if you're doing this all the time, I'd have pick the proper colors and camouflage for what you're doing. Next goes into layers. I'm a big fan of having the proper layers because I may be super cold on a stand, wind's blowing, it's 20 degrees, and I'm bundled up. Man, go out there and drag 2 or 3 coyotes. Shoot a coyote at 130, 200, and 280, and go out there and drag them back. You'd be sweating. All right, so now you're cold in the next set you go into. Additionally, you hop into your truck, and now you got the heat blasting. Go to the next set. Now you're hot, cold, hot, cold. So having the ability to quickly layer is vital. Some zip-on puff pants, or some zip-on and off bibs, or having a jacket so you can open up all the pockets and dump heat. Having a good layering system is important when it starts getting real cold. What I predominantly do is I have my base layers, then I have like an outer layer, and then I have like my warming layers on top of that. So if I'm driving in and around the truck, a lot of times I'll take my jacket off and unzip my pants, and I'll get in the truck and I'll drive to my set. And then when I get out, I'll zip my pants up, put my jacket on, and I'll go make my set. Now say I am successful and I shoot a coyote or 2 off of that set, I'll take that jacket off and I'll put it in my tripod basket, and I'll unzip my pants or potentially take off my pup pants and put that there as well. Because now I'm about to be walking, sometimes more than a half mile, dragging, 40, 60, 80 pounds worth of coyotes that I'm going to be sweating my butt off. And so then I go to the next set, and now you're cold. So having a good layering system, have clothes that, cut the wind, especially if it's super windy. And then having an answer for your hands. The biggest thing that gets cold for me and most people is going to be your hands, just because you're touching cold equipment. If my rifle is cold and my tripod's cold and I'm touching all these things, my hands are going to be way more prone to becoming cold than any other part of my body. So what I like is having a lighter glove or something kind of small, and I'll put hot hands in my pocket, or I'll have a QB muff, and I put a bunch of hot hands in there, and that way I can sit there and put my hands in my pockets with heat, with external heating, and then just get them out and use them as needed. But there's times when you're out on that gun for a while, or you're doing stuff for a while, but they still get cold. Another option that I do is I have my glove that I use my scanner with. I'll have my inner layer, I'll have my outer layer, and they're heated gloves. I'll turn those on, and then now I'm scanning, and then the one I shoot with is in a pocket with a hot hand, and I'm scanning because this one's way more exposed for a lot longer time. And I put my scanner away, and now I get out and use my rifle. But I like having dexterity, so especially at night, a lot of it is feel. You're feeling all the different parts of your rifle and different buttons and things like that. So just play with it, but always have good layers, and then have an option to add layers and take off layers throughout your set.